Hello and thank you for choosing Artisan City. This video shares with you the process I developed for building a contemporary style chest of drawers. Let's get started. The first step is to create the frame that the drawers will sit in. So I used the table saw and miter saw to prepare the wood that will be used to make the four corners and the boards that connect them. All of the dimensions for this project, as well as a materials list and detailed drawings, are in the construction plan document in the description. Here I'm using a router to round off the edges of the corner boards, and then I glued and screwed them together. In the video, I only show one of the corners, but there are 3 more identical to it. Next, I screw the connecting boards to the corners, making sure to drill pilot holes and a countersink for the screw head to fit in. And I use wood filling putty to cover up the screw holes. I also cut some wood that served as supports for the top and bottom panels. The supports on the bottom are bigger than those for the top because they will eventually have the legs screwed to them. These supports are screwed onto the inside of the frame differently for both the top and the bottom, so check the construction plans for the specific details. The board I bought to make the top and bottom panels was too big for my table saw, so I used a circular saw to cut them out. Then I dropped the panels into the frame and screwed them to their supports. In hindsight, I should have screwed the top panel in from the bottom of its support, but I filled in all the holes, so it worked out fine. I went back to the circular saw to cut out panels for the back and sides. I chose 1/4-inch plywood for this, and while it worked for the back panel, the side panels would have turned out better as 1/2-inch. The construction plans have a pretty good explanation as to why, but nevertheless, these boards were then screwed into the frame, starting with the back and then the sides. After the frame was built and paneled, I started making the drawers. This chest will have 5 drawers, 3 large and 2 small, so I cut out the sideboards accordingly. I also cut out panels out of 1/4-inch plywood for the bottom of the drawers, but all 5 of them are the same dimensions. Since the bottom panel is 1/4-inch thick, I cut out a 1/4-inch dado into all of the drawer sides. The dado joint will make the drawer more sturdy. Then I assembled the drawers, being sure to put glue in all of the joints and dado slots. I have shown this step for both a large drawer and a small one. In order to hang the drawers inside of the chest, I cut out 10 support blocks that will hold the drawer guides to the frame. Then I screwed the guides in using the hardware that came with them. It is important to be very precise while putting in the drawer guides, or else they may not open or close properly. So I was very careful with my measurements, and I used the adjustable screw holes to dial in the drawers. Once all of the drawers were installed, I cut a piece of 1/2-inch plywood into 5 parts. These 5 boards make up the front facade and are screwed onto the front of the drawers. Then I nailed long strips of wood to the front facade, leaving a gap between each strip. Finally, I used a thin blade to cut along the gaps in the facade, so that each drawer could open individually. I went over all of the surfaces with a coat of primer and beige paint. Finally, I used a small brush to cover the recessed lines in front with a lighter cream-colored paint. This helped to accentuate the design on the front and give the chest some contrast. Here is the final result. Thank you very much for watching. For specific details about this project, visit the construction plans in the description.